Welcome to The Explainer. Look, today we are talking about survival. When most people think about trading, their minds instantly go to making money, right? Hitting that home run, catching the next massive trend, and multiplying their capital. But think about it like this. A truly great football team doesn't win championships just by relentlessly attacking. They win because they build an absolute, impenetrable defense. A good trader operates the exact same way. They don't just blindly chase profits. They actively forge a shield to protect their money. That shield is what we call risk management. And mastering it, well, that is the true secret to long-term wealth preservation.
So let's get right into forging this armor. We've got a packed agenda today. We're going to cover the art of defense, controlling the trading math, the risk-to-reward ratio, taming your trading emotions, and we'll wrap up with the ultimate survival checklist.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the art of defense, and really just protecting your capital. Here is the harsh reality of the markets. Most traders fail simply because they don't have a defense. Without proper risk management, it's just chaos. You're flying by the seat of your pants, guided purely by emotion. And honestly, that means you are literally just one single bad trade away from wiping out your entire account. But flip the script. With risk management, your losses, they stay small. They stay incredibly controlled. Your trading becomes a rules-based game with a clear plan. And that right there is the fundamental difference between blowing up your account in a week and actually surviving long-term. Moving right along to Section 2, controlling the trading math. Specifically, we'll look at the 1% rule and automated orders. Now, the absolute rock-solid foundation of your defense is position sizing. That's deciding exactly how much money you're actually putting on the line for any given idea. Enter the 1% rule. This dictates that you should never, and I mean never, risk more than 1 to 2% of your total account on a single trade. Think about it. If you've got a $1,000 account, your max risk at 1% is just $10. Even on a 10 grand account, you're only risking $100. The math here is almost magic. By keeping your risk strictly to these amounts, you could theoretically suffer through an excruciating, horrible streak of 10 back-to-back losses, and you know what? You'd still retain 90% of your total capital. You literally live to trade another day. So to actually enforce that 1% rule, you need the right tools. First up in our toolkit is the stop loss. Think of this as your automated emergency brake. It's an order that immediately automatically closes your trade when the price drops to a specific level, stopping the financial bleeding right then and there. You don't even have to be staring at your computer. The system handles it for you. Whether you set a fixed stop at a specific price, a trailing stop that follows your profit up, or just a straight percentage-based stop, it absolutely does the heavy lifting. Let's put some real numbers to this to see exactly how it saves you. Imagine you buy Bitcoin at $60,000. You do the smart thing, so you instantly set a stop loss at $57,000. Out of nowhere, the market violently tanks. Well, because of your stop loss, your trade just automatically closes. You only lose $3,000. Now, yeah, losing $3,000 definitely stings, but it is infinitely better than sitting there totally paralyzed while your investment plummets all the way down to $40,000 and wipes you out completely, right? The stop loss literally prevents a total catastrophe. Okay, now for the flip side of that defensive coin. We have the take profit order. If the stop loss protects your downside, the take profit is the automatic order that closes your trade the exact moment the price hits your predetermined target. It's totally crucial because it automatically secures the reward you risked your hard-earned capital for in the first place. It totally removes that dangerous temptation to hold on just a little bit longer because you're feeling a little greedy. So going back to our Bitcoin example, you bought in at 60 grand, but you also set a take profit order at $66,000. Your job, it's completely done. When Bitcoin hits 66,000, bam, the trade closes on its own. You walk away with a guaranteed secured profit of $6,000, and you didn't even need to be obsessively staring at a screen all day to do it. You planned the trade, and you traded the plan. Which brings us perfectly to Section 3, the risk-to-reward ratio. This is all about balancing your potential loss against your potential gain. Now we're going to synthesize both of those automated orders we just talked about, your stop loss and your take profit, to figure out your true odds of survival. This is the risk-to-reward ratio. You get this by just dividing your potential profit by your potential loss. Look, risking $1 just to make $1, that's simply not good enough. The math just won't sustain you over the long haul. You really must demand an absolute minimum ratio of 1 to 2. Meaning, if you risk $100, you need a realistic shot at making at least 200. When you start hitting ratios of 1 to 3 or even 1 to 5, it's a total game changer. You can actually afford to be wrong way more often than you're right and still steadily grow your account. How wild is that? All right, on to section 4, taming your trading emotions. It is time to talk about these psychological threats. So the math might be perfectly forged, but now we've got to face the absolute biggest threat to your portfolio, you. Seriously, we all fall victim to market psychology. Fear makes you panic sell way too early. Greed constantly whispers in your ear to hold on just a bit longer until suddenly your profits completely vanish. Then there's overconfidence. Catching a lucky winning streak and suddenly taking massive, oversized positions. Oh, and FOMO, the fear of missing out that tricks you into buying the absolute top just because everyone on social media is hyping it up. But honestly, the absolute worst one, revenge trading. That desperate, reckless urge to immediately jump back into the market right after a painful loss to try and win it back. It is so financially destructive. And it's exactly why strictly trusting those automated stops isn't just a good idea, it's mandatory. To further insulate yourself from that emotional panic, you absolutely have to deploy diversification. You've got to mathematically spread your capital around so one bad apple doesn't rot the entire barrel. Let's say you have a hypothetical $1,000 portfolio. Do not dump it all into one single highly volatile coin. Spread it out. Maybe put 40% in Bitcoin, 30% in Ethereum, 15% in BNB, 10% in Solana, and reserve just 5% for those super risky alternative coins. If that tiny 5% slice takes a total nosedive, your overall portfolio barely even feels it. Your shield holds totally strong.
All right, home stretch. Section 5, the ultimate survival checklist. Let's bring it all together.
Before you can safely execute any trade, you desperately need a feedback loop. Enter the trading journal. This isn't just a diary, it's a meticulous record of every single move you make. You log the date, the specific coin or asset, your exact entry price, where you put your take profit and stop loss, the final result, and this is absolutely the big one. The actual lessons you learned. Did you let your emotions override your plan? Was your stop loss maybe a bit too tight? Listen, if you don't document your mistakes, you are completely doomed to repeat them. Your journal is basically a mirror that forces you to be brutally honest with yourself. And finally, this is it, your ultimate Trader's Shield pre-flight checklist. Right before you click that buy or sell button, you have to pause and run through these 6 crucial steps. Number 1, am I risking a maximum of 1 to 2%? 2, is my stop loss mathematically set? 3, is my take profit actually defined? 4, is my risk to reward ratio at least a minimum of 1 to 2? 5, am I trading based purely on logic right now, or am I getting totally emotional? And 6, is this specific setup explicitly written into my trading plan? Hear me on this. If you cannot answer a confident, absolutely definitive yes to all 6 of these questions, do not take the trade, period. Step away from the keyboard. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a provocative thought to anchor your mindset before you open your very next chart. Ask yourself this. Are you trading just to make money, or are you actually trading to keep it? Because the reality is, anyone can get lucky. Anyone can make a quick buck on a totally random trade. But only those who actively use their trader's shield, who rigorously manage their risk, strictly control their sizing, and master their own chaotic emotions, will actually keep those profits and survive long enough to achieve real financial independence. So build your defense, respect the math, and trade safe out there.